Let's get it.
So welcome to another episode of the Food Community Podcast. I am Rich Homie Juan. Got my host with me, L.A. Icon.
What up?
Today we got a special guest in the building, Bobby Soto.
What's up?
What's good, what's good? Appreciate you coming through.
For having me.
How was the parking?
I mean, I found really good parking, bro. It's right here. So, I mean,
Really?
yeah, we pulled up right in the front. Somebody's barbecuing outside.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there. So,
Was there still the car with the hood off and the top down?
I don't know. I don't notice that, but I saw a lot of people camping out, dog. It feels like a camping place to be, you know?
Shout out to the Los Angeles campgrounds.
Yeah, for real.
They're living for free food. It can't be that. They're barbecuing vicious steaks.
Vicious steaks. This fool was eating ribs when I walked in. You told me it was from the barbecue downstairs, dog.
It was.
It should look fire.
Yeah, they even got disposable plates. We don't know how many times they've been used prior to him getting it, but
No, like what's crazy is that I saw a documentary actually, and it's talking about all the development happening in Los Angeles and downtown LA, but there's so much homelessness happening over here too. You know, when I was a teenager, I used to come out here and pass out pizzas.
that's love.
Yeah, I used to come out here just with my family, fill up the whole truck, and just give out just food to people. You know, because I grew up down the street. I grew up real close by.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is like my backyard. So it's a trip.
That's fire. Do you smoke? You said you smoked?
I'm a casual smoker. Yes, if there's weed, I will take it.
Hopefully this never happens to you, but shout out to Emperor's Choice with their Shadow Band strain. Here, fool.
Órale. Gracias, boy.
Little gift. Shout out to the Emperor's Choice.
We'll try this out later on. Thank you.
Who's this on your arm right here? Is that your grandpa?
This is my grandfather. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
Which camera are we talking to? There's like 3 of them.
Yours would be that one and the middle one.
That one in the middle one?
Yep.
Órale, pues. Yeah, this is my grandfather right here. This is Danny Roman. He passed away 3 years ago.
Legend.
Yeah.
Legendary.
Yep.
He's in that particular photo. You're a fool. In that particular photo, that's his mugshot, right?
It's his mugshot back in 85, actually. Yup.
That's
Back when he was
crazy.
like 26, 27 years old. He got life when he was 25 without the possibility of parole.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you be getting in trouble?
Nah, fool, I don't get in trouble. I try my best to stay clear-headed, you know, do things little by little, step by step. I don't fuck around like that anymore. When I was younger, you know, it's just,
I feel it.
yeah.
You're in a way better space right now. But where I'm going with that is if you do plan on getting in trouble, make sure you got Attorney Rosenberg's number in your phone, G. Shout out to my sponsor, dog.
God.
You like that
That one
segue?
too, I gotta jump
Fire.
on. Hey, Rosenberg, what's up? I know him too. He's
Nah, yeah. Did you meet him that night or you had already known him?
trouble, call my homie. Nah, I've known him for a minute actually. Conejo introduced me to him.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What did you think about the Conejo event?
It was amazing, man. I mean,
Lit, right?
yeah. One thing him and I talked about during the show is like everybody in the community that was there sharing love with him. It just felt good. It's like everybody, like we come from a certain place, a certain background, a certain demographic, but to show up together in unison to support somebody's art is beautiful, you know. And it was just like you felt safe, you felt good. It was a good time. It was free drinks. There was music. There was art. There was like a little show they put on, you know. Like it was a whole performance. It was a whole thing. And that's Conejo. He's large. He's a big person, a big life, you know.
When you were growing up, what was the legend of him?
I knew Conejo I knew of Conejo when I was younger because I knew there was a guy that grew up in the neighborhood that my grandfather grew up in and my family grew up in. But he was living in Mexico for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And my mom used to have a market off of 61st and Compton. It was called La Villa Mar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And my mom used to have his CDs on the
That's
counter.
right.
Yeah, so my mom was trying to like help him just like make some cash at least, and try to give him something, you know. But yeah. So I grew up with his music. I grew up with knowing who he was and knowing everything about him.
That's tight.
He was like a big spirit. And then when I met him just years later when he got out, like a few months after he got out, David Ayers, the director, like hooked us up, put us in a movie called The Tax Collector.
Uh-huh.
I met him at David's house, and it was love, man, because he was really happy to see me. He was like, man, I remember you like this, dog. You were little. And now we're working on a movie together, so.
Crazy, right?
Life, man, life just, it spins you around, takes you where you gotta be, you feel me?
That's a fire little story. So then you grew up on that side of town.
Yeah, I grew up on a lot of sides, man. I grew up
I like that.
on 58th and McKee, between Gage and Slauson.
Yeah.
I grew up on 28th and Trinity with my moms. I grew up on 22nd and Vermont with my grandfather.
That's right.
There's a lot of little areas all over USC, all over South Central. Yeah.
That's dope. So South Central baby.
Yeah.
How does a South Central baby make it to the White House?
Man,
And you're young.
pure will, man. Just will, just determination, just like having a dream. You feel me? Like, since before I was born, I was going to Pelican Bay State Prison. You feel me? Like I was a baby visiting my grandfather behind a plexiglass. My mom introduced me to my grandfather since I was born. Like, it's your grandpa.
Of course.
And growing up, it was like putting my hand against his hand on a plexiglass and seeing how much I was growing. Went there for like 22 years until they like shut it down, and he got shipped down to Latino and Corcoran and all that shit. And it was like general population. First time I got to hug my grandfather, I was 22 years old. First time I touched his hands. The first time, like, we got a hug, you know? And then fast forward, being at the White House and shaking the president, regardless of politics or regardless of like whatever anybody says or what they think of.
Yeah, that individual. We're talking about the person. We're talking about that position of office that you were able to go and
Exactly.
behold.
And that's like it's a showing, and like I hope, like, this is my first podcast.
That's
first
cool.
time but I say that because my intention with being in this place is like to connect and communicate with my community.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the whole thing that I've been doing, what I've been doing in my life, is like, if I come from like prison visits, my mom's been locked up for 12 years too. She's still locked up. She's
Free your mom.
yeah, she's in the feds. Yeah, so like, my pops was locked up for 7 years. Prison's been in my life 54 years of.
It's part of your life. Prison is part of your life. Yeah,
exactly,
I feel it.
Exactly. So I've been doing this for a long time, you know, and for me to be able to get into the White House and to shake the hands with the president, to take a photograph, to make that fool laugh, it's like, I know my grandfather would have been happy right now.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Like, he would have been like, all right. Because I was, the whole time, like, growing up, I always sent that fool, like, scripts, you know, movies I was on. He was watching me. So my work as an actor transcended gates, transcended walls, it transcended plexiglasses, it transcended all these bars and shit. Like, my mom, today, I'm in a movie with Flaming Hot. It's called Flaming Hot with Eva Longoria.
Yes, of course.
And my mom was seeing me doing like news, like entrevistas and shit, like little like interviews, and she's like in prison behind her like little glass.
Just seeing that.
Me. Yeah, like right there. It's like, I saw you. You were my friends. They don't believe it's you, but I showed them the picture and this. You know what I mean? Like, it's exciting, and it's like,
That's amazing.
I haven't seen my mom's in almost 4 years. You feel me? And it's like, because they've been traveling her all around.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So to be in the White House, it's just like, it felt like I was taking space that was already waiting for me. Like, I didn't feel like a stranger. I didn't feel like, it just felt like
You felt welcome.
Exactly. It was a big ass carne asada too, you know, like they had a mariachi there. Somebody told me like,
Racist. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah, bro, it was like a celebration, you know.
No, absolutely.
I mean, if you've seen that film, you see that there's cholos, there's gangsters, there's.
Oh, so they took the cast. That's how that took place.
They didn't. No, actually, no. They didn't take the cast because it wasn't like that kind of a thing. It was more of like, we were trying to make an impact and show that people, like, we can be in these places. We deserve to be in these spots, you know. So it was a limited thing. I heard about it, bro. I heard about it through someone like, yo, we're going to the White House. And
And you're like, what?
yeah, and I was like, that's my Trojan horse. That's my Trojan horse. I got to get to the White House. I got to get my mom's out of prison. I got to help her get out. Like, that was my intent. And so I found out, and then I asked my manager, I'm like, yo, how do I get there? My manager's like, I know the person that's setting it up.
Ah,
Yeah,
shout
like,
out.
I was told through somebody else. You found out. I was like, I gotta go. So I'll tell you a little story too.
Shoot it.
Yeah. So we get there, and everybody's like, you know, you get in this room. You go through a lot of security. You go through like checks and all this shit, right? Checks and balances, all kinds of shit. Before you even get onto the lot, it's like they go through your whole background check and everything. Later on, I found out they actually had an issue with allowing me in because of my family and because where I come from. But Eva and the producer and everybody's like, nah, he's an actor. Like, that fool doesn't have a record. Like, let him in.
Yeah.
So eventually they let me in. And they put you in a room, you go through all these things, right? And even like I had to take a piss at one moment. I'm like, yo, can I use the restroom? The Secret Service is like taking all of us as a group. It's like the writer, myself, the 2 lead actors in the film, and like the mom of another actor, they're there. And it's just like a couple of us. And I got to use a restroom. So like, all right, then we all got to go in a circle. So like Secret Service moving us around. Like if I had to take a piss,
Everyone's
we all
going
had
to the
go
restroom.
to the bathroom with Bobby. You feel
That's
me?
tight, yeah.
Yeah, but then everyone had to go anyways, you know? So it's like, we're here, you know? But so it was like, that was that kind of a movement in that place. And then you get in a line and they're telling you, okay, you're going to wait in this room. Here's a little ticket. Here's your name. There's a number. The other room, the president's going to be in there. You get one photograph. They call it like the official photograph. You got to leave your phones. You can't do whatever, right? They do all kinds of stuff. And they put you in a line on another room and they give you a ticket and then you get an order. Pop, 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 pop. And I was like number 7, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, how do I, like, what am I going to say? They're like, you got 5 seconds. I was like, how does this work? And I'm asking the people that have done this before, like the people that set up the event. And I'm like, how does this work? And like, well, you get like 5 seconds. You go up to the president, you shake his hand. You know, there's going to be Secret Service around. You're going to tell him, like, you know, you greet him like this. You say, thank you, Mr. President. And you say whatever you want to say. And like in those couple of seconds, you got 5 seconds. And then they're going to take the photo, walk out, because they're going to usher you out. You can't linger around the president.
No, yeah, it's not happening.
That's not happening. Secret Service and shit. So as we're waiting in this line in this other room, waiting for the president to come in, everybody's like, yo, what are you going to ask? What are you going to ask? And my homie's like, I'm asking where the aliens are at. Like, where the aliens at, you know? And that's what my homie said. He's like, what are you going to ask? I'm like, I'm going to tell that fool to get my mom's out of prison.
That's fucking right.
And he was like, what? And he tripped out, you know? I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, fool, like, that's why I'm here. And he's like, all right, do it. It's all right. So finally, you know, it comes to the moment where I got to get into the room. I'm next. Boom. We go in. Like, you know, Eva's right there. She's kind of like being the buffer. She's introducing you to the president. And it's like, all right. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, I got choked up.
I feel it.
I kind of got choked up because you see all Secret Service around him, everybody. He's just like, he's old, bro.
No, he's right there like a little statue type of vibe.
It's viejito, bro.
Absolutely. He's like 80 years old.
He's like un abuelito. You're like, you know, like you gotta like help him move around. You feel me? Like he's an older gentleman, you know. And,
Absolutely.
So when I met him, I kind of got choked up, and I was like, everyone's looking at me. Photograph, you gotta smile and shit. And I was like, yo, and then I was like, and I had my Lokes on. I was like, hey, you mind if I take a picture? Like, you know, go ahead. That's all right. So I boom, I put my. Actually, I'm lying. Let me tell you this. As we're in this line, before I go in, like there's like this little dude. He's like in a suit and he's walking around. He's kind of asking everybody questions, like sizing everybody up. And I'm like, he comes up to me and starts asking me all kinds of questions. And I'm like, oh, all right, this fool's like he must be somebody. I don't know. So I'm being respectful, you know. I'm talking to him, and he's like, you know, where are you? Where you from? Like, where'd you grow up? And like asking me all these questions, you know. And I know what he's doing, and I said, hey, excuse me, how many photos can we get? And they're like, we get one. Why? I go, can I get 2? And he goes, why? I go, I want to take pictures with my glasses. He didn't see my logos. He thought they were just like glasses, like to read. And I said, he goes, yeah. And he goes, we'll see. He walks away, right? He's like, we'll see. So he walks away. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I go in, boom, my turn. I say, hello, thank you, Mr. President. I say some fucking stupid, I don't know what I said. I was like, oh, thank you. I don't know. Like, I just got like.
Whatever you said.
I don't know what I said.
It definitely wasn't asking for a pardon.
He wasn't asking for a pardon at the moment, right? So then I was like, all right. So then I was like, fuck, in my head. And then the guy with the little suit, he pops up behind the photographer. Like, he walked in the room with me. And there's like only a few people. And he walks in and he's like, hey, and I'm walking away. They're ushering me out. And he's like, yo, you want to take a picture with those glasses? And I was like, oh, thanks, man.
Love.
I pull the glasses out. They're my Lokes. I throw them on. Boom. I take a picture. Everyone starts laughing. He was like, that's like a Chicano staple. Oh, my God. Like, that's a good image right there, you know? And then I'm like, Mr. President, I take them off. Like, Mr. President, you want to put these on? And he's like, oh, these ones? I got a pair of these. He throws them on. And that fool starts laughing. And then his wife starts laughing. And she walks away, right? So I get that picture with him. Boom. I walk away. And my homie, the one before me that asked him about the aliens, was like, hey, dog, did you tell him what you want to say? I said, nah, fool, I got choked up. And then as I'm saying this, that little dude in the suit is right next to me. And he's like, what did you want to say? And I go, hey, bro, look, my mom's been locked up for 10 plus years. She's in the feds. I'm trying to get her out. Can the president pardon my mom's? And he goes, you know what? I'm going to help you. I go, really? He goes, yeah. He pulls out his card. Here, chief of staff, dog. Right-hand man to the president. He gives the card back. He's like, actually, hold up. Gets the card back, pulls out a pen,
Writes his cell phone number on.
And he's like, here's my direct line. I'm gonna help you, dog. I've done this before.
It's an admirable motherfucker right there, G.
Exactly. He's like Mexican American too. And I was like, all right, sick. And then he gave me his number, and it's been the last 3 weeks. He's been helping me out. He's like, he's reading my mom's case, trying to see what he can do. I mean, we'll see.
That's
we'll see.
Dope, fool.
So, yeah, bro. So
just who knows what's gonna happen?
Exactly.
God willing, it goes through.
Exactly.
But just the fact that he's entertaining that says a lot about him as a man.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. And
So shout out to that fool.
for real. And there are people out there that like, they are looking out for the community, you know? It's just a far and few in between. There's a little bit of us, like you right here, you know? Like how many other like homeboys right here doing podcasts, you know? Like this.
All credit to the Wizard of Fools back there, dog.
Right there.
I'm just some funny fool.
Exactly, dog. Yeah. So like, you know, I mean, shit, yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, even my mom's is like, you know, we'll see what happens.
She ain't trying to put too much hope into that, but that's just like a mentality that you build over time because you're calloused, fool, from being in there. And women's prison isn't the same because my wife, not to talk too much about myself, but my wife did 5 in the feds. The woman that you met, my wife, she did 5 in the feds.
Where at?
She did it in Waseca, Minnesota. And she also was obviously down the street right here for a little while. And then they ship your ass around wherever you go. I think she was in Oklahoma for a while.
My mom too.
Okay.
Yep.
She's in Oklahoma now?
She was. Now right now she's up in Seattle.
Okay, so yeah, so they ship you to Oklahoma, then they send your ass back over here somewhere.
Yeah.
And they're always cold places for some reason, right? So, so where I'm going with that is you just become like a little calloused and a little less hopeful about shit, and then you just could they just try to grab onto whatever actual happiness they could actually touch.
Yeah, that's right.
Cause they're programming, fool. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
And don't get me wrong, it's super loving and dope of you as a son to even think about to doing something like that, because who wouldn't, right, for their mother? But at the same time, that probably with her mind a little bit, like, oh.
The thing is, dog, my mom's got a charge that my mom's has been doing really well. Like
Amazing.
She's a highly intelligent person.
Mm-hmm.
She
was a business owner before she went down.
Yeah, my mom was a big time real estate agent in LA. Like
that's amazing.
Yeah, everybody knows who my mom's is in LA. Like because of what she did for people. Like she gave back, she helped people. Like she wouldn't. You know, a real estate agent, but just FYI, like real estate agents will make a commission off of you, right?
Absolutely.
My moms will make that commission, give it back to the person, pay for their rent for the next couple of months, pay for whatever bills they needed, give them groceries, like that. And like, pay me when you got it. And then that lady and that person will be like, you know what? Yana hooked me up. I'm going to hook her up with my tia, my cousin, my sister, my neighbor. They want to buy a house. And so my mom's like, all right. So that's how it worked. You know, she was for the people. And so was my dad. You feel me? Like my dad, they opened up a lot of businesses. Started off with a store called Bobby's Video off of 61st and Compton.
Fire.
Yeah. And my dad, growing up my whole life, it was like everybody that lived in that neighborhood, all the youngsters, all of them, majority of them worked for my dad and my mom's. Clean water, like my mom used to sell like DVDs and shit, and like, you know, the video store. And then it became a water store, and they started selling water and shit. And like everybody was there. It was just like a lot of young homies that grew up around there never went to the beach. My dad bought a big ass SUV. Everybody, let's go. We're going to the beach.
That's tight.
They never been to Benihana's. Everybody, let's go. We're going to Benihana's. Never been to Disneyland. Everybody, let's go. We're going to Disneyland. So I grew up with like all these youngsters, and a lot of them, you know, got involved in shit. Some of them passed away. It was sad for us, you know. But like my parents did a lot for the community, and that's all I want to do. You feel me? Like that's what I plan to do. That's what I hope I'm doing. Even like showing my face at the White House is like, you know, like you could get there too. You know, like you could get there too. Yeah.
That's deep, fool. I'm a super imaginative person, so as you're telling me all this shit, I'm just imagining it, and to just bounce out of that real quick, I'm like, oh shit, that shit was crazy as.
Yeah.
So, when did it all start? The spark that you wanted to be an actor, because clearly your mom was doing what she did, your dad was doing what his did, your grandfather is who he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, how did acting come into play?
Dog, I didn't look for it. You know, it found me.
Fire.
That's the truth. Again, my mom's a businesswoman. Saw that my family was involved in certain things, and like she worked really hard to also like get herself out of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she ended up in prison, but that's a whole other topic.
That's some other shit, yeah.
We'll probably talk about later. Who knows? But I have twin sisters, and my twin sisters, when I was about 10, they were 11. And my twin sisters are identical twins. You know, in the malls, you used to be like these little like booths and be like, "Yo, you
Want to do model? Yeah.
You want to be, you know, you want to be, you could be your twins. Oh my God, they could, you know." And I used to have a chipped fucking front tooth, so my tooth I looked all funny and shit. And I was little, and they were like, "Yeah, oh my God, he's got character. Look at his tooth is broken. Like he can be in shows too, you know, like you brown kids, you know." And so my mom was like, didn't know anything, young moms in her early 20s. She's like, "All right, let's see what this is about." We go to like some fucking studio in Hollywood. They like all these kids are there, all these people are there, and we know nothing about this shit. And my mom's just like, they tell my mom in an office like, pay up like $1,000 each kid, and this is how it's gonna be. And then my mom's like, all right, and she didn't know, so she pulls out cash. She fucking pays like $3,000 up front. If that ever happens to anybody, that's fraud. It's bullshit. Because we came back later and that studio was gone. Like that shit number disconnected, office gone. Like these big studios in Hollywood used to like rent out little offices. So you thought it's like, I'm on the Paramount lot, but you actually go into some office that they just renting out. So you thought it was real, but it was just robbing a lot of people. My mom's got robbed, being from where she's from, being from LA, being from South Central, also like being Puerto Rican and like having a very strong-willed mind and like, all right, motherfuckers got me, I'm gonna figure this out. So my mom starts, you know, internet's barely starting. She's looking up. Two of her like idols is Jenny Rivera and J-Lo. And so she looks, you know, she's like, where's J-Lo go to classes at? And she finds a class online, and she sees this class called the Aaron Spicer Studios off of Lancashire.
Boom.
We go over there. My mom like sees there's this white lady. Her name is Lisa Pacat. And Lisa has like this, she's handling the youth program at this studio called Aaron Spicer Studios. And I end up there, and Lisa looks at me, and she looks at my mom's, and like, you know, these three brown kids from the ghetto, like, you know, the young mom, Chicana, you know, and she's like, all right, like, y'all don't know anything about this acting thing, so you're gonna have to start doing classes in my studio at my house, and you come here, and I'll teach you things, and then when you're prepped enough, you come over to like the studios, and you get with these kids, and you understand how to read a scene, you know how to like do all this shit. And we end up at her studio. We studied with her for a few months. And my sister is like driving from LA all the way to Hollywood. It's like she lived like right in West Hollywood, and it was just too much traffic. And my mom, like, it's just a lot. So my sister and I, we were 10 years old, bro, 10, 11. We're like, I don't do this shit no more. So my sisters, they tell my mom's like, that's it, I'm done, you know? And I'm like, fuck it, me too. And so I'm like, I'm done too. We go to Lisa's house. My mom's like, we're in the car. I'm in the back seat. Lisa's in the front window, like in the driver window. My mom's like, listen, Lisa, thank you so much for your time, but I don't want to waste it anymore. Like, my kids want to do something different. And Lisa looks at my mom's and goes, your daughters can quit. That's fine. But your son can't. And she goes, he's your son. You're the mother. You tell him what to do. All right? Listen to me. He needs to stay. And so Lisa looked at me and was like, my mom looked at me and goes, she said, you got to stay. You got to stay.
That's fire, though.
You know,
she believed in you.
Yeah, Lisa did. So then she was like, I got fucked. But I was a little kid, and I wanted to hang out with everybody. I grew up in a big-ass family. I wanted to have fun. And my mom's dedicated 3 to 5 days of week dropping me off at Lisa's house after class. I missed a lot of middle school. I missed a lot. I got kicked out of my high school, like my senior year, because I was I was gonna shoot a movie in Canada. Like,
that's fire.
You feel me? Like, they were like, you missed too much already. I'm like, yeah, I'm representing the high school. Like, don't kick me out, but they still did. So then I continued in these classes, and then little by little I was in a class full of white kids. Like, I was the only brown kid. There was another kid in there. His name was Rico Rodriguez. He was on the ABC Family show, Modern Family. He was like younger than me, but he was in a younger class. But he was like him and his sister Rainey Rodriguez, they were the only ones that were, like, they were from Texas, but they came here, you know, and they kind of, boom, I saw Rico, and he was little, and then all of a sudden, boom,
little girl
I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this studio is real. Like, this lady is real. Like, she's legit, you know? She is. And everybody to this day, like, people come up to me, oh, my kid wants to be an actor, this and that. I'm like, Lisa Pacat and her husband, David Kaufman. Google them, tell them Bobby Soto. They know me because I've been there. I was there for years, bro. And then after that, I was like opening up showcases and acting and this and that and like all this theater stuff. And finally, when I was like 13, for like 3 years, I studied with her. And then when I was like 13, Lisa's like, yo, you're ready for an agent and manager. You could do this thing. I said, all right. I got an agent. She kind of hooked me up with an agent manager. First thing I did was a commercial. Like, don't worry. Like, every 50 auditions, you're going to get one. You know, don't worry. There's going to be a lot of rejection. My first audition, I booked it. It was a commercial. It was a Walmart commercial.
Paid.
I was 13 years old. I worked 3.5 hours. All I did was slap some kid's hand. The kid that had the lines in the commercial.
High five.
Yeah, it was it was just, dog, that's all it was. A little clap. Back to school commercial on Walmart. It was an international commercial back in those days, right? Like, and I don't do commercials anymore, but they pay well. I was 13 years old. I made like over 60 grand. My mom looked at me and was like, you shake somebody's hand for 3.5 hours and you made 60 grand? You're going to stay in this shit. So then, boom, next commercial, dog, my next audition, booked it. It was a Xbox commercial. I was in high school. I became like, everybody's like, the Xbox kid. I was a little dude just playing video games on this commercial. They split it in half. They split 2 commercials. I got paid over $200,000, bro. And my mom's like, you're not leaving this shit. You know, like, I'm hustling.
You're already
day.
a $250,000 up.
Yeah. So then you see, back in those days, well, it's still to this day, there's something called the Coogan account.
Okay.
And when you're a minor in the industry, back in the day, there was this kid and his parents took all his money, and he was broke, right? And so there's a law got involved, this and that. So kids you can't touch your money. Your parent can't touch your money until you're 18. My mom's, being as smart as she was, figured out a loophole. Took all the money out. I started paying mortgage, dog. I started paying the house rent. I started paying groceries. Like, I was 13. So, like, I never complained about it, but I was like, cool. Like, what I'm doing is supporting my family.
Facts.
You feel me? And like that was.
I'm sure you got to spend some of your money however you want.
A little bit. I remember there was one time I went to a store and I liked this like brown leather jacket. I was like 15 years old, and I was like, oh, I like it, but it's like $300. And my mom looked at me and she's like, and you know, she knew it. She was just like, Mijo, if you like it, take it. I go, nah, it's too much money. And she goes, you're only gonna have this right now, so take it. And I said, I got it.
I like your mom's fucking thought process, which is facts.
Like,
If you want it, now's the moment to get it. You got it right now.
My mom's is like, if you a closed mouth don't get fed. You feel
Facts.
Me? Talk about it. Say it. You gotta talk about what you want. You gotta say. You gotta enjoy life. You're only gonna have it once, you know. And so I grew up like that. And then it just took off, bro. And then I started acting and shit. I went on when I was 15. I was on a TV series, you know, called Brothers and Sisters with Sally Field. It's like, if you know Sally.
Sally, that's legendary.
Legend, bro. Legend. And like, she approved of me when I was like when I was 14. I booked this movie called A Better Life with Chris Weitz and Richard Cabral's in that. And that's where I met him for the first time.
Shout out to Baby Jokes.
His first movie, yup. And then after that, I booked another movie. I flew out to Canada when I got kicked out of my high school. Like, I started just working, bro.
What was the Canadian movie that? Well, I know it wasn't Canadian. They're filming in Canada because it's cheaper, etc. Yeah. But what was the name of that film?
It was called Change of Plans, and actually, it was the first time I played like this adopted kid from like Uganda, bro. Like, it was like I had an accent y todo. Like, it was crazy.
Hilarious.
It was funny. It's actually like a funny thing, but you know, it was cool, man. I got to take my grandma. Dog, my grandma grew up here in LA, and she never went outside. Like, the furthest she went was Tijuana and Vegas. Like, the furthest in her life. She was in her late 40s when I took her, because I had the opportunity to go to Canada. I took her with me, and I was like, you know, I was a little kid. I was like, it's a new world, you know, all this shit, you know, it's a new world, everything. My grandma's like, yo, the Niagara Falls are down the street, let's go. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay in the hotel room. She's like, I'm never gonna come again. Like, I'm going. Like, your ass could stay in the hotel room. I was like, I gotta go. So I went, but thank God I went, because my grandma and I got to experience
something beautiful together.
Like, that's like one of the natural wonders of the world.
Yeah, exactly. 7 wonders of the world.
Yeah. We got to experience that, and I'll never forget that. And neither we talk about it all the time. So like, you know, this acting thing, like, it just, man, I used to visit my grandfather in Pelican Bay. I used to visit my grandfather in Corcoran before he passed away. I visited him everywhere, and every time I was in there, he was like, hey, this is the actor. This is the actor right here. This is the one I told you about in the movie with my boy Conejo. This one right here. You know, it's like, it was just always proud, you know, all the time, you know. So like, I was doing things, he would say like, I'm living vicariously through you, Mijo. Like,
that's right.
Things I can't do, you're doing them, you know. So like, yeah, it was always like, and I noticed that.
Were you able to chop it up with him on video chat and shit like that?
Video chat, yeah. Bro.
He's gone, fool, so we could say it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, my grandpa and I had a very, very close relationship.
Oh, so you would take him, you show him like, hey, trip out on this.
Everything.
Todo.
Todo.
Were you able to go live with him? Not go live, but were you able to FaceTime him when you guys were in the White House?
Nah, bro, he passed away.
Oh, he had already passed away.
Yeah,
my bad.
No, it's all good. He passed away in 3 years ago in June 10th.
Because the White House thing was recently.
White House thing was recently, bro. Yeah, it was. That was like last month.
Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Recent. No, it's all good.
But you did get to do that with him.
Yeah, bro. We got to do a lot. Yeah, we got to do a lot together. We share music. I mean, he put me on. What's wild, bro, is like I'm spiritual. You feel me? Like I grew up Catholic. I grew up, we grew up like, oh, that's grandpa. You see little signs everywhere.
I love it.
And the person he was and his spirit and how strong he was in this playing field of life. I believe like he surpassed whatever spirit realms he's in, and like he's out here looking over us. You know what I mean? Like just today I was having breakfast, bro, and I was having breakfast and this couple, this family, they were on the side of me and they're like, yo, are you Bobby? You're right. And I turned around, I was like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, it's Bobby Soto, right? And I'm like, yeah. And then, like, all right. And then they're like, can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, sure. So we started taking pictures and they talk about, oh, I love this movie, that movie, this and that. And they're like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like intrude. And I'm like, nah, I love this. Like, I want to talk to you guys. Like, let's talk, like I have that like that responsibility to my community, to acknowledge them, to show them that they exist too, that they're right here too, that that anything they want they can have, and I'm looking at that and I'm going through that and the guy's like, and the check comes and the guy goes and he's like, hey bro, he's like, I get it, and I was like, nah, he's like, I want to take care of it, man, let me take care of it, you just being you, like, thank you. It's all right, man, thanks, man, like it hurts me, like I don't want you doing that, but all right, I'll receive it, And then I turn around and his son's sitting down and he's like, Miko, take a picture with him. And he gets up and his son has an image of Popeye, the Sailor Man. That was my grandfather.
That's a motherfucking sign if I ever seen one, boy.
Yeah, Popeye. So when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. It was like, all right, like we're good, like I'm like my trajectory today, my direction is coming here, And I'm like, all right, grandpa, like I see it, like it didn't have to be a Popeye shirt. It could have been anything. You feel me? And like little things like that, we see it. So of course, I feel like he's everywhere and everywhere.
Some things are coincidences. Some things are a little miraculous, maybe. You know what I'm saying, or magical. I believe that. I'm not f***ing around.
I believe that too, dog. Talking about magic, I feel like that's exactly what it is, bro.
Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's sick. So, what has been your favorite role?
Oof.
Not favorite time on set.
Yeah.
Favorite role, because that might not be the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, favorite character to play, huh? Shit.
And don't typecast my boy after he gives his answer, all right?
Nah. You know what, man? Somebody told me, like I was having a moment where I was like, I play a lot of Chicanos. I play a lot of gangsters. I play a lot of like hitman. I play a lot of like, tax collector, narcos, like the shit that I've done. Like even in the Flaming Hot movie, like even that is like a little homie right there. And
dog, I just left. Noel G just left. I talk about a typecast.
Right, yeah.
I asked him about that shit too.
For sure. Somebody told me this. Robert De Niro plays all the Italian gangsters.
Fire. Someone's got to do the shit.
Yeah, exactly. But he plays them all different. So how do you make them all different? If you're going to play all the brown gangsters, represent, dog. But, I was like, fuck. So if people actually do, I think that's why people resonate with my work. Because, yeah, I am the same face, but every moment that you see me in a different project, it's something different. Like if you go check out all my shit, everything's got something different in it. Because I'm trying to explore not just one way of doing it. There's a multitude of
course
homies out there. There's like, it's a lot of us.
Yes.
And we're all different, so I try to incorporate that in my work,
So would you say that acting saved your life from not being from the same hood that your grandfather and the rest of your family is probably from?
100%. 100%. It has literally saved my life, dog. Like,
as we say that, the sirens.
Yeah, the sirens, bro.
What a coinkadink.
Nah, but like a lot of times in my life, in my personal journey, man, like there's been moments in my life where I look at it like there's something, like I can get involved with something, but for some reason I gotta take off to Mexico to finish this movie like tomorrow. Like I gotta pack up because I'm leaving tomorrow, and that shit's happening right now, but I gotta go tomorrow. It's like I can't, like there's no way of me doing like at all. Like nah.
Like I can't participate.
Like nothing.
Fool.
Like nothing. Like
I gotta go get this bread.
Yeah, I gotta go make some money. I gotta go work, dog. Like it has literally plucked me out and taken me to a different state. It has plucked me out and taken me to a different country. It has plucked me out and taken me to dog. This shit has taken me to Bulgaria. Like my little brother, I started raising him since my parents both of them got locked up back in 2012 together. And so I've been on my own since I was a teenager, and my little brother was like 5 years old. Immediately when I got him back from the foster care, I put him into acting. I'm like, and I stopped acting actually for like 6 years. And so I had to survive. I had to pick my family up. I had to put money in my mom's books. I had to put money in my dad's books. I had to see what I was gonna do, man. Like how I'm gonna put a roof over everybody's head. Like shit, I was for a little bit homeless. Like I was in a car, dog. Like where the family dipped on us. I had a tia come over and be like, yo, your parents, like, you know what they did? Like, good luck with life. Don't come looking for us. Told me and my sisters on Christmas Day, 2012. My parents got locked up December 6, 2012. That December, Christmas, tia came
3 weeks later.
3 weeks later, my sisters and I sitting there like, what? Like everything's getting taken. Government's taking everything. And we're like, we're losing it. We got nothing left. So we end up, you know, and it's like, and now I just bought my mom's house. My mom lost her house 15 years ago. I just bought it, bro. Bought it back.
That's right.
You feel me? Like from there to there, from Pelican Bay to the White House, like it's just pure. Like, what do I want? You know, like, who am I? What do I want?
Would you say that's one of your greatest accomplishments, buying back your mom's pad?
For sure.
Fire,
Sure,
fool.
because when she gets out, it's like, here you go.
Success is the most
me?
craziest revenge, fool.
Yeah. I lost your question, dog. You asked me something, but
You said some fire shit right now. I'm lost in the sauce too right now, fool.
Yeah,
You
I
buy
mean-
your mom's pad back that you guys got evicted from when she got busted, fool.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah, bro.
Damn, that's
Had to.
deep, fool.
Yeah. So,
Just
like,
thought you were some actor kid, fool. It's just crazy.
nah, bro, it's a lot, you know, like this acting thing, it really has. And I've seen it too, bro. I've seen like what it's done for Richard Cabral's life, bro. I've seen what it's
Hey, that man,
Mhm.
I've known him from a while back. We don't speak anymore, not for any reason whatsoever. My boys graduated to an upper echelon, you know what I mean? I'm on the rise too now, motherfucker. But nevertheless, it's been nice to see his progress, you know what I mean? The work on the Mayans, fire. Oh, there's so much shit we could say right now. You know?
bro. I mean, he's an Emmy nominated actor, dog. Like,
Yes.
like come on, like he
That's
doesn't,
great.
like,
He won, right? Or no?
No, I don't know, but
I think he might have won.
Yeah, maybe, bro. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. That dude's
Either way, that fool's up.
yeah, bro. I mean, look what I mean, it's just like, even like you asked me earlier about like how it was being at the Reset album release with Conejos.
Yes.
Like everybody there, you know, I told my pops too. I'm like, everybody that was there is like, yeah, we all had lives. Everybody had a life, but we're all here together because we all know that we want something more out of this life. And we want to put our life into art. We want to make something with it. We want to inspire other people. We want to make people feel seen. You feel me? And it's like, if I get to keep doing that for the rest of my life, I'm happy. You know, as long as my people, my community, they see that, all right, you know, somebody's out there representing us. And I get that a lot, bro. I get that a lot from like a lot of people who come up to me and like they love it. So I'm open to whatever life's going to give me, you know?
I don't even know what the question was. I think what was your favorite character that you played?
My favorite character, all right, man, I mean, shit. I think right now is the favorite character I'm about to play. I think that's where I'm at.
Are you able to talk about it? Because I know the strikes
Yeah.
are striking down my interviews right now.
Nah, for sure. Like, this has nothing to do with like all that, you know, like it's unfortunate what's going on with the union and the strikes. Like, it's just people are literally losing their job, like losing their houses. They can't pay rent. They can't eat. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy. Like the amount of percentage that they're asking those big people with the money is like nothing. But it's a lot for us because we're here,
trust
but
me, I know,
nothing
yeah.
for them, you feel me? Anyway, but regardless of all that, now I'm working on a play right now. So I'm actually doing theater because I'm like, and right here down the street at the Inner City Arts.
Amazing.
Yeah, right here. It's like on 7th and Central.
Is that the shit you're talking about with Clayton?
Yeah, with Clayton Cardenas. Yeah. We're him and I and Andrea Londo. We're gonna
Dope.
put up a play in late September. You know, it's a Latino playwright about Latino people living in LA.
Sure.
You know, so it's like it's a moment for the community to come out. You know, have something. Enjoy something that's delightful, you know.
I like that word.
Yeah,
My
like,
boy said delightful.
yeah, bro. Like there's a very because it's like we're there for the community's delight, you know. We're there for them to,
Literally.
like, yeah, it's there for like you to eat me up, dog. Like what you like, if fucking good or bad, like let's go, you know. Like you get to be the judge of me. I could talk all this shit, you know, but
It's one thing to be in the theaters. It's another thing to be doing theater. You know what I'm saying?
exactly, bro. There's a whole thing with that. So I think
That's a whole vibe, and there's no
Yeah,
retakes, fool, because that's live.
Exactly.
Whatever happens,
exactly. You gotta put your money. where the
shoot
mouth
that
is,
shit.
you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. That's just how it is, and it's like
When is the debut?
it's in September 20th.
Is that what we call it though? Is it debut? I know it's opening day essentially,
yeah,
but like
that's what it is.
it's opening day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Opening day. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna expect a +10 for me and my boy and all of our homies.
Hey, man, yeah, your fool's got to come out and check it out, man. It's like I talk to a lot of people in the community that come up to me about the movies, and I'm like, yo, check this out though, and they're like, what is that? Never been to a play. I never been to like.
Yeah, we're not in New York. We're in LA.
Exactly, and that's the point.
I mean, Broadway's a whole different thing over here, baby.
That's the thing, bro. It's like, how do you bring them out? Like, especially like you got to come down here to downtown LA. You got to come out here to like where people are really having struggles in real lives.
Facts.
Like if you really about all of this thing you talk about, like whatever is film, whatever it is, like just drive down here, see the community, see what's happening in this city, come and enjoy something. But then you're gonna leave with like, that was good. Damn, and look at all this. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be some conversation right there while you drive home.
Absolutely.
Like there's got to be something there.
Like I'm sure when you speak to this human being, when you guys leave right now, you're gonna be like, yo, that interview was deep. They might have learned something new about your ass right now or something like that. But you're gonna be like, yo, but what about the bum barbecuing that ribeye right there though?
Exactly.
Fire.
Exactly, right? In real life. It's just real life. It's not like a finished product. It's not like some like perfect.
This shit's ongoing.
Exactly, bro. Like you can go to these theater houses anywhere in like Beverly Hills. You can see those places. They're real nice. Try to find parking too, like you won't. This is like
yeah. But
it's real nice. You're gonna pay like $250, to see some like old play, from like some other demographic.
Hamlet.
Cool.
I feel it.
That's cool. I love Hamlet. You feel me? Like Hamlet's Lion King, dog. Like if you like the Lion King, it's the same story.
Literally.
yeah.
No, I feel it.
yeah.
I'm here, fool.
Yeah. I know. I saw that shit. But yeah, bro, I hardcore. I mean, that shit's hard as it's like some gangster rap, trying to like read Hamlet, dog, or like read Shakespeare in general is like some. Like that's just confusing, But if you really get into it,
if you grasp what you're saying, it's fire, and it's deep.
Exactly, it's another language.
Sometimes it's a little gangster.
You know what? Actually, trip out on this, bro. There's a couple of programs out there. There's one with the Tim Robbins. It's called the Actors Gang out there in Culver City.
Tim Robbins, that's a bad.
Yeah, bro, Shawshank Redemption.
Hell yeah,
prison,
fool.
bro.
Hell yeah.
You feel me? Like he gets it, but that
fool again.
He has a whole program where they go into prisons and they give art back. They teach something called Comedia del Arte, which is like a very old school, like European way of art, like acting, and it's just like very large of life. And they give it to inmates, all right? And then there's even like other programs where they go out there and they give them like, somebody sent me, I should have brought the information, but it was this audio recording that they did in prison with all of these inmates facing life, have been there over 30, 20 years plus, and they're reading Shakespeare, dog. They're reading Hamlet. And I have never heard it read that way. I have never had that experience because these fools are coming from real shit. Like they understand. Like you're not gonna trust. Like why would I say that? They're like in the conversation, like hold on. Why the that fool let that shit happen? Like I know that is dirty, and he already told me he's dirty. Like they're already like talking about. They're breaking it down. They're going through shit, and then they read it, and then you hear that shit, and you're like, that's powerful, dog. Like, and they understand it, and it's fun for them too. My grandfather used to always be like, yeah, that shit's cool, whatever. Like it's cool for them. Like whoever
he was on some different plays.
Yeah, there's also like there's a producer out there named Scott Budnick who goes out there and he does a lot of like progressive like positive influence and shit to like a lot of these prisons. He helps a lot of homies out. He has a program called ARC. He knew my grandfather, and my grandpa used to always be like, man, got Hollywood people coming out here trying to fucking meet me, he's like joking around and shit, but that fool has a lot of programs where he's helping people out, and like giving positive. And my grandfather, he called me, he's like, my grandfather passed away, and Scott's like, yo dude, I'm sorry for your loss, this and that, I just want to let you know your grandpa was big on like positivity, like making like youngsters like get into positive programming, like he never forced no one to do nothing they didn't want to do. And I asked my grandfather this one time. I said, Grandpa, what's more important, fear or love? And that fool looked at me. He thought for a minute, and he goes, well, love. Because fear, if you're scared of me, you might do something to me.
Facts.
But if you love me, you'll do anything for me. So I want you to feel like I love you too, man. And that's why they call my grandfather Pops, because he was like a big father figure. He was a big like influence to a lot of youngsters. A lot of fools came out after he passed away and they were like, yo, he was like my dad. Like he taught me things I never knew about life, like how to treat a woman, how to talk about this, how to talk about that. Like he put me on, like, man, I used to go to visits with my grandfather and there'd be homies out there that, with their family, whatever. It's like a 3.5 hour drive to Corcoran from LA. You gotta have money in your pocket to be able to drive there. You gotta have the time. You're gonna drive back. You gotta have gas money. You gotta have money to come in so you can put change in the machine so you can buy them something to eat. And that shit's not cheap. It's like $6 for a burrito, you know? And then you want a soda, and then you got your kid, and then you want to eat, and you're gonna be there for 6-7 hours. Like, you're gonna eat more. Like, you gotta have some change on you, some feria, you know? And with my sisters and I, we would go and we'd take money, you know, so like, you know, whatever my grandpa wanted to eat or whatever. And a lot of times my grandpa would be like, look, mijo, go give him the pork chop plate. I'll go give it to him. Like, for real, like a real pork chop plate, you know, burrito place, taco place. And like, we'll give it to that guy. Look, they don't got nothing, mijo. Like, that was my grandfather, you know, always giving. And my sister would be like, damn, we don't got no more money for us because we only brought in a certain amount, you know. But like, grandpa said, let's do it, you know. So we would do it all the time. Always giving, man, always giving. Yeah.
It's very admirable.
Yeah, for real.
And honorable, to say the least.
And if you look at it, the trajectory is like, my grandfather was like that. My mother is like that. My father is like that. And I'm doing my best to be like that too, you know. So lead by their example.
It's the best bet.
Yeah.
What's the worst role you've ever had?
Oh, man.
You're going deep, fool, but I have a fucking questionnaire here that I can't deviate from.
Dale, let's go, dog. I know I can get real.
Nah, it's fire. Do your thing. I'm sure you're going to go crazy on this one too.
You know what? The worst character ever played. I mean,
not the worst character,
but
but
say this story. I'll tell you this. I quit a job.
That's fire. Talk about it.
First time in my life, bro. It was talk about it. First time in my life that I quit a job, and I'm not proud. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with it now, but at the time, it's like I invested a lot of my energy, a lot of my time, my money, like every blood, sweat, and tears, like for real, like getting dirty with the work, so like I could get ready to prep up, so I could film this movie
and do it right. Yeah.
And we get there. It's in Colombia. And I go to Bogota, Colombia, first time. I'm out there, you know. 2 days before, like the first day of filming, I dipped because it was just unprofessional. It was like nobody was running shit. Like, the leaders were not leaders. They were around. I'm out here getting paid as an actor, and I was producing the room. I was moving people around. I was moving pieces together. I'm telling the major player of this company, like, dog, get in there and end this shit. And he wouldn't end it. And I'm like, what the and he's like, we're for the people. Dog, you look gringo. You grew up in Texas and you're trying to talk to me like you speak Spanish, but you don't. Don't fucking play a front. So there's a lot of that too, you know? There's a lot of that shit like out there, like in Hollywood. Unfortunately, there's people out, like the Latino community in Hollywood is very small. There's a lot of us. It's a lot of us. Like, we're big. Like, that small percentage is a big ass percentage, actually. You know, small meaning like we don't have a lot of roles.
You're not the majority.
Right. You know, but we are the majority consumer in this country.
Absolutely.
We're the ones
That's
that buy
a
the
fact.
most.
Absolutely.
We're the ones that, but the thing is, we've been brainwashed and programmed. It's like we've been programmed to see other ethnicities on television, you know, big movies, you know, big action films. And like, that's what we want to pay our money to, because we haven't been given the opportunity to show a Latino playing those big parts or those action movies, you know?
How do you feel about right now, the presence that Latinos have in the industry? Because I feel like it's, I don't want to say an uproar, but an uprising perhaps. Exactly. And I don't mean that in the negative connotation that comes with that. I just mean like we're on the rise. Facts, period.
100%.
Music, acting, movies, roles, all that.
100%, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really important that we have we have to create we just got to get, like, there's more people getting together and like helping each other out and being there for one another. And like, even this, like, you invited me over to do your podcast, like this, for some reason I felt like, yes, I should do this. You know, I got to connect with my community. I got to connect with people that understand the world that I come from. And also, like, I feel like the people that tune into your podcast are people that want something else, that are searching for something different. They want to hear somebody's story and be like, what can they get from that? How can they use that ingredient, that substance, and like use it in their life? You know, whether you laugh, you cry, or inspired, whatever it is. But like, in the community, that what I've seen, because it is there's like not so many big roles for us out there right now. But there are a lot of people out there, like there are a lot of screenwriters that have written those roles. There are a lot of directors that are waiting for that opportunity.
They just haven't been picked up yet.
They just haven't been picked up yet. And people haven't gotten into positions of like power in Hollywood to give them the opportunity. And then the ones that have, they start getting consumed by the money and by like, well, this other Jack Ryan thing is gonna make us X amount of money. Like, let's just do that first, and then they put everything else on the side. But see, there's people out there that believe in our work, dog. There's like Eva Longoria believes in her work, like Gloria Calderon Kelly. She believes in our work, dog. She's a big casting director, writer, producer. Like, these people believe in us, bro. Like, they like Eva executive produced my film that I wrote. I wrote this movie, a short film called Mundo. Clayin and I, that's where we worked for the first time together. Otomara Marrero, who I brought in to play with me. Rosia Ibarra play with me. Dude, like, I wrote this piece, bro. Like, I wrote something, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. So I signed up for something called the Sundance Lab, which is like a program. Yeah, it says Sundance. It's like a program online, and you work with writers, and they help you out, like, to shape your project. You know, like, I'm searching, dog. Like, that's one thing about me is, like, I don't stop looking. Like, I'm not stopped looking for, like, the knowledge. I'm, like, looking out.
That's the best
bet. I collect older people in my life to, like, ask them questions and get wisdom and data from them, so I could, like, live my life and not make so many mistakes. So I could like, kind of like steroids. I'm like, let me get there quickly as a young person, so I don't make those mistakes when I'm in my 40s.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, and then I want to give that information to my young brother who's only 17. You feel me? And then who I raised. And like, and if you meet my little brother, he's an amazing human being, you know? He's fucking phenomenal. And I'm proud of him, you know? And I'm like, I had to take a moment yesterday and like, damn, I'm proud of myself for raising that guy, you know? And then it's like, then I have a 12-year-old nephew, you know? Then I got a 6-year-old nephew, you know? So I'm like, all right, like, I got to be able to collect all this information. That way I could go and give it to my people, to my family, and be like, yo, these are the mistakes I made. Don't make them. Or these are things that work for me. Do this. You know, and like, I'm out there doing that, but fuck, bro, I lost track of trying to. It lost my thought.
You answered the question, then you carried on. It's all love.
That's what happens,
You're
bro.
doing
Like,
good.
my shit goes. So you just gotta.
Who's your favorite actor and actress that you've worked with?
Favorite actor and actress that I've worked with? Favorite actor, I'd have to say. Honestly, man, I got mad love for everybody, so I don't really want to say any names, because then I feel like it'll just play favoritism. I don't want that.
Fine.
I mean, look, man, I've learned a lot. I learned a lot from the first movie that I did when I was only a couple years ago, from Tax Collector. The people I worked with on that, like, I learned a lot. Bro. Like, all right, I saw it.
What was it like working with David Ayer?
Love him, love that guy. He's like a big brother to me, man. We just reconnected right there at the Reset with Conejo's album release.
Yep.
I haven't seen him. He's been busy, but you know. That fool looked out for me, man. Like, I met that fool at a dojo in Echo Park. Yeah, I walked into a dojo one day, and I was like, just kind of like looking for answers from God, bro. And like, for some reason, I felt a calling to like open this glass door, and like of this dojo, and no one was just like, I opened it, no one was inside, so I closed it. I walked away, and this dude with a ponytail runs out with no shoes on, and he's like, "Hey, did you open this door?" And I was like, yeah, my bad, bro. And he's like, come back. Thank God he said that, because my life changed after that. Because then when I walked in, boom, he's like, what's up? He started talking to me like, you know, kick it right here. Like, you know, like, just, you know, bring shorts and a shirt, and like, you could do this jujitsu shit, and like, you know, I'll give you like a good deal. Don't worry. And for some reason, I was like, man, I felt connected to this dude. You know, I felt like I was at home. And then, fast forward, I'm in there getting my ass kicked every day, learning how to fight with karate and jiu-jitsu and all this stuff. And then I'm like, they have like a gym in the backyard, and I'm like hitting the gym at certain hours and this and that. And this big white dude, and he's like right there, and I don't know who he is. And you know, we're kind of like passing by each other, you know, in the backyard. And the one day he just looks, he's like hitting the bench press, and that fool's like, hey, bro, can you spot me? And I was like, yeah, I got you, dog. So I go over and spot that fool, whatever, and then walk away. And that fool's like, what's up? And then we started talking. And then turns out that fool grew up in the west side of LA.
Sure did.
Turns out he makes movies. Turns out he's fucking David Ayers. Turns out this fool's like, I know your family. I know your grandpa. I know your moms. I know everything. Turns out he's like, I'm making a TV show. You want to be a part of it? I was like, look, dog, I'm just trying to get in. At this moment in the time of my life, I had nothing. Like, I was like, so my parents got locked up. Hollywood basically was like, peace. You know, like, figure that shit out, because they got scared. It was all over the news. It was all over LA Times. It was like, it was everywhere. And my agents and everybody at the time was a teenager, and they got scared. They, you know, whatever. So I had to like figure life out for a few years, and I wasn't doing that. And so then finally when I got back And I met David, and he's like telling me all this shit. I'm like, look, dog, I just want to like be in that energy. I want to be around that field. Like, I just want to get you, be your assistant, bro. Like, you need coffee? Like, what's good? Like, so I just want to be around it. And he was like, nah, you're gonna act in it. I was like, all right. So then we went into a process. He was writing a TV show. I went in there. I was part of his writer's room. He invited me in. He was like, you know, tell stories, dog. Like, let's work on this together. And that show didn't go anywhere. Called me. He was like, yo, dog, that show. Want to make a movie? I was like, yeah. He goes, all right. You, me, camera, a couple of cool ass actors. And that's it. Running around LA. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And fast forward, we made The Tax Collector. Shia came in. That fool, he's like my big brother too. And ever since, like, I just had a great relationship with him. After that, after the movie The Tax Collector, Shia and I actually kept like talking about how we can continue working together, because the way that where I come from and where he comes from was very like the work ethic, the respect, the patience, all this, like the concentration, like everything you need just to like make art, you know? Like I understood that just from life, you know, like sitting with my grandfather, like respect, patience, treat people right, like all of this I learned, you know? So I was ready. So finally we talked about opening up a theater school. We opened something up. It was called Slauson Recreational Theater Company off of 56th in Compton, right down the street from where I grew up, right there in the projects. We opened it up for like 3.5 years until COVID came and like just shut us down after that. But like 3.5 years, bro, we was there. Like the community came out. Like some of the community members became the leaders. They're leading it today. Like right now, 56 in Compton, there's a Slauson Rec. They call it like Slauson Theater Company now. What we did is we went in there. We gave an opportunity. We opened this up. We brought in the people. We brought in all kinds of dog. Tim Robbins, again, was there. John Singleton, rest in peace. You know, if you know his work.
That's
like,
fire.
He was there. Yeah, like Alma Herrera, who did Honey Boy for Shy, was there. Like we had people that Shy would bring in. It was just a beautiful thing. And like all these people got to experience. One of our homies, Ezekiel, he says he was walking in the park and he saw a bunch of people coming, like just walking in. And he's like, what's this? He follows the crowd. Turns out it's an acting class for free. All these fucking cool ass people are there. That guy right now, he's a Talking Child. He has a movie traveling all of Europe because he's the lead of it. You know what I mean? Like another kid, like he just took everything and just left, and like he like took off and from his state, came to LA, wanted to work with us. Motherfucker worked with Denzel Washington just recently. You know, Michael B. Jordan. Like they just came in this thing and this just like
boom.
It just blossomed, bro. And like we did that for them, and now like we've created leaders. You know, like I think that's what it is, right? Being a leader, making somebody a leader. You know, you do your thing now. And so we did that after the movie. That's how generous and kind and loving Shia is. You know, that's how good of a person he is. You know, and it was right there. You know, we were there for almost 4 years.
That's intense.
Yeah, bro.
What do you got for this fine gentleman, Wizard of Fools?
Like, this fool brought some knowledge. He wasn't saying no stupid shit.
Hey, were there any obstacles you had to face as a Latino?
Yeah, bro.
In the acting space?
Yeah, 100%. Like, man, I've heard it all, bro. Like, I've heard things like, oh, I was up for a movie in Disney, bro, and I heard shit like, oh, he's not Mexican enough. Yeah, bro. Yeah, like Disney, that was the shit. Like, dog, there was a movie called McFarlane USA.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
That's the racing one.
Yeah. Nicky Caro is the director. Yeah, it's the running one, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So I was working with her for like a few weeks, bro. Like, you're the lead, you're playing the character, Tomas, like this and that. I was like, sick. And I was reading with all these like white dudes who come in that were they were going up for Kevin Costner, who ended up taking the part. Like they were all reading with me. And they're like, we need you to like read these people. Like, you're the cast. And I'm like, sick. Got down to the point where we don't even have the money yet. When we get the money, like, you're the guy. Money came in. There's a big like audition process. I'm walking in. How old am I? I'm like 18. I'm like 18 at the time, and I'm like, this is mine. Like I've been told a year ago before they didn't have the money. And then it goes through a whole process. Like they call it like a chemistry read. Everybody's just mix and match. They had us running and shit. End of the day, Disney's like, oh, he doesn't look Mexican enough. I don't look Mexican enough. What? They had me sending a video of me talking in Spanish. I was like, what the
Like they told you that?
Yeah, like that was like the response. Like they needed something different that looked more
ethnic.
Yeah, ethnic. Yeah, I guess yeah, like that. And I was like, all right. And then I also get like, I was in a couple other films. It was like, well, you don't look like angelic. You look more menacing. So like, you know, yeah, and it's like it's just sharp features, and it's like shit you can't change, you know. And it's like, all right, cool, whatever. I can put makeup on, but you know, you can put a wig on, like do whatever you got to do to make me look whatever you need. But all right, for sure. So like, those are kind of the obstacles I have. Also, like, it's like, as a Latino, as a Chicano, like, how do you redefine what that means? Like, how do you show the industry of Hollywood and also the people that consume these movies and these shows, like, how do you show them that we're more than just this shit with like just guns and tattoos? Yeah, I got tattoos, but what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, you don't get into the meaning of these things. You know, like, yeah, like for me, I wrote this movie, right? It's called Mundo. It's about the human experience. It's about a homie's like internal world and what he's going through and the reason why he makes the decision he makes. We don't see those reasons. We don't see that shit in Hollywood. Like, we don't see what happened to him. We just see him putting a gun on somebody, but we don't see what happened. Like, why is he getting to that place? You feel me? And for me, like, I believe that our culture and our community, and like even in like the gang world, like all of it, it's love, man. Like, it's a brotherhood. Like, I love you, you're my homie. Something like, what happens when somebody gets, and back in the day, somebody dies, like, oh shit, they get mad, or they put the tattoo of their homie that rest in peace, or you want to go get somebody else. It's like, it's love. Like, don't talk to my woman like that. That's my girl. Like, I'll do some. It's love. Like, that's my car. I like it. Like, let me shine it up. It's love. You know, like, that's my clothes. I got a crease. I gotta have the fucking, you know, like, it's love. Like, it's all love. Like, oh, you know, like, my pops is like very, you know, about his clothing, about how he rocks his hair, his jewelry. It's always like, it's a thing. You know, it's love, it's character, it's his personality, it's an identity, and all of that doesn't get shown in Hollywood. And so, like, my job, what I have taken upon myself is like to show that. Like, I'm like, how do I show that? You know, and I did. You know, I was talking to David Ayers the other day. He's like, dog, I want to make another. He's telling me he wants to make a movie about the, you know, the soul, like the shit that's just like people don't want to talk about. You know, like, you want to see just boom explosions and don't see the real shit. I'm like, August 14th, Chinese theater. Next week, my movie Mundo is showing. It's a short film. It's just like 60 minutes or some change. Thankful for everybody that worked on it. Come and see that film. You know, like, come and watch it. You know, it's called the Holly Shorts Film Festival, and it's a pretty good one, man. Like, it's a reputable one. It's one that if you get into it, like, you can you're now have a consideration to be. You're like eligible for consideration. It's like eligibility for consideration for the Oscars. You know, so like,
it's a process, baby.
It's a process, but it's like, to get in means people are resonant, bro. This film, yeah, we got tattoos. Yeah, there's guns. Yeah, there's a lot of like, there's a family drama. There's love drama. There's like all this shit.
The stereotype is there, but the undertones are so much deeper than a fat bald cholo with tattoos from East LA or South Central.
Hey, 100%, man. To a point where I sent this movie to big studios in Hollywood before all the strike. I got meetings with all of them talking about, how do we make this into a bigger movie? Can you write a bigger movie? I'm like, yeah. So I got into the drawing board and I wrote a whole movie. I'm still working on it right now. And that's what it is. Like, me, Clay, OT, like, I already have all the pieces that I'm going to put us in. And like, how do I expand this universe? You know, and then I want to take that and make it into a series. You feel me? And because it's not just this family, but it's like, we can extend
it.
Yeah, you can extend it. And then what does that do? That brings in more community. That brings in more Latinos. That brings in more people that can play at a level and character and get to dive into some place into their soul and like express that shit. Mm-hmm. You know, like this. That's what we do, right? Put tattoos on, want to express how I feel about something. You know, it's like, how do I give that to my people? How do I give that to my community? And that's why even this play, strike went on. I looked at it as an obstacle. What do? We get to work. Fucking sit around waiting for people to do something for us. Just like you told me about this podcast. Pandemic hit, got to work. You feel me? That's what we do. As you know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know other cultures, I'm not there, but as Latinos, it's like, oh, we're gonna make that shit work. You know, that's why in Mexico there's houses that are put together with all kinds of material, but it's like, that shit works. You know, because like, we're gonna make it work regardless of the obstacles we got. You know, and so it's like, that's why I'm talking about even the play. It's like, oh, you think, oh, okay, people think we're just TV and film actors. Oh, okay. Oh, we can't work. Oh, we can't make money. Oh, we can't. All right, come out. Like, come and check us out. Like, come out and see what we're about. Like, come over here downtown LA, 7th and Central, Inner City Yards, late September. and let you know. Then you could be the judge, you know, or you could jump in with us. What's the next one? How do I get involved? This shit fucking spoke to me. I loved it. Whoa, you feel me?
That you should have told me something, vibe on.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire.
Exactly, bro. That's how it is. And like a lot of
That's real shit.
everybody I passed this play to, man. Like I got like Eric Mancha, who's a painter. I don't know if you're familiar with Eric Mancha.
I'm not.
He's a sick ass Chicano painter, bro. Like he's doing a lot of really cool things.
Shout out to that gentleman.
Yeah, bro. He's actually in the moment. Like he's painting a portrait of my grandfather too.
Fire.
Yeah. But he's gonna be painting our. You know, he's right here in downtown too, and he's gonna be painting our little poster. I got Israel Valencia, who's a Chicano too, and like he's right here in downtown too. That fool's gonna be doing the costumes and shit. Like he's a fashion designer. That fool, like there's a lot of homies out here. Like even still Brazy, Blanco, like that fool, the photographer, online. Like he's gonna come out and be behind the scene work. Like I'm getting my people involved. Like what departments do I need? How can we get everybody involved so we can just get together and like show how strong we are? The same way I did with my short film. After that, everybody's like, how can I do this again? You know, like this is like, we worked a day and a half on this project, but how do we do it again? It was so fun. You know, like, and it's like, all right, you just get together. We create this community. We work. We talk about things we want to talk about. Like what is that urge or that need or that fire inside and you want to like release that shit? Well, come together. Come right here. You feel me? Like we're here. Like, come out and play with us, build with us, create with us, you know? Yeah, man. So it's all about that for me. It's all about just being an inspiration and just trying my best to work hard.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's just tight. You got anything else for this fine gentleman?
Besides the short film, anything else we could expect?
Oh man, there's well, I have a movie coming out it's supposed to come out. Hopefully, I can't talk about it because it's like promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And with the striking stuff, and I'm part of a union, so I can't talk about it. But yeah, there's something that's supposed to come out later this year, and hopefully, you know, the people with the money can figure something out and help our people, like everybody in the union. Then we can like start promoting this shit. But yeah.
I feel it.
That's amazing. Is there anything you want to leave the people with before we clock out, my brother? He's like, what didn't I lay on them?
Nah, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, I know it's a lot of just.
It was great, brother.
Yeah.
It was delightful.
Hey, man. That's all it's for, man. That's what it's about. Yeah.
I'm being serious. That shit was fireful.
Thank you, dog. Thank you.
No, really.
You know what?
I don't really like a lot of people. I'm gonna you.
I actually like. Yeah. Thank you, bro. For real, I feel the same. It's the first podcast again. It's the first podcast I've done. Like,
popped your cherry, homie.
It's just some shit that like, like I just was, you know, like, this is the one, you know, because this is where I want my people to hear me. You know, I want my people to like, all right, you know.
As far as Latino people go, I'm not sure there's a bigger platform, but we're definitely happy to have you.
For sure, I'm happy to be here, bro.
It's crazy.
Thank you.
You shot that shit, fool. I f with it. That's the end of the fucking podcast, fool.
Like, I thought it was this joking shit. This fool came out with some.
Nah, sometimes it's required. You know what I mean? Because all I do is sit up here and f around, fool. And we found a little bit, right? But I mean, it was deep.
Who knows? Maybe you're safe. I don't know the fools that watch it. You know, like.
What can they say, fool?
It's like that fool. I don't know.
That you should have got jumped into your freaking grandpa's hood or what? That's the only thing they could possibly say. He did.
Nah, my grandfather
would have never allowed it.
Yeah, he would never.
Facts. I already know. Otherwise, that would have been your story.
Ever. That's the trippy part, actually. Like for real. Like, what I've noticed is a lot. Like, I grew up with a lot of these people, you know, and it's like their family, their immediate family, majority of them, they're not in gangs, they're not in prison. They're like, for some reason, like these men have been like, yo, like,
this ain't it.
Yeah, do something different. You know, my grandpa used to be like,
there's a special build. Exactly.
Yeah, like, know who and you know who isn't. So, you know, and it's like, just take it easy with your life. Have a good time with life, you know. Enjoy life. You know?
I am mad at it. It's been a real pleasure. I'm definitely gonna hit you up for some tickets to walk the red carpet and go watch Mundo and cover that a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Sick, yeah.
And we'll see what we do about that play too. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Seriously.
Gracias.
So again, much love to the Wizard of Fools back there, because without him we wouldn't be here.
Thank you.
You for doing everything that you're doing. You have an amazing story, dog, and that's just crazy. And I'm glad that someone like you with a head on your shoulders that you have is putting on for us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And Yeah. Typical old me up here, buckaroos. You already know what it is. Full Community Podcast.
That's good.
We're out.
These